Today's video is going to be about divorce, about separation, about a woman that have had to let go of marriage. Women like me. Honestly, today's video is actually about me and those in my situation. It got to a point in my life that I had to let go of a 7-year-old marriage, and at a point in time, it felt as if I was not even living at home. It felt as if something is missing. I just can't place it. It felt like there is no sense of purpose. There is no sense of belonging for me. I don't even know what to live for. It feels as if the whole weight of the world is resting on my shoulder. And this lasted for years. And after a while, things changed. And what I noticed, as at the time that I was really down, I was going through a lot of pain, I was feeling a lot of regrets, I was really not just feeling the need to continue living. And the time that I felt free, not just felt, the time that I started feeling free, the time that I started looking outside where I used to be, the time I can actually call a phase that my life made another turn entirely. That journey from that time that I was actually down to the time that I am up again is the time I call healing. That is the healing. And one thing I got to realize is that healing is not just happening as at that time. Healing is not just happening to me for that time alone. I am still going through the journey of healing. But for the very first phase of healing, that is the healing I want to talk about. For women like myself that have gone through divorce, I believe you can understand where I'm coming from. And I want you to resonate with me. I understand that that time it feels as if there is no reason at all. There are so many questions you're having. Or let me use myself. I had a lot of questions. I was having a lot of thoughts. I was being optimistic. And at the same time, I was actually in a cycle, a dilemma cycle. I can't even understand the reason why what is happening to me was happening to me. And at the same time, I could not even think of myself outside the situation. I spent most of my days crying, understanding the fact that there is a part of me that I had to let go. There was a journey of 5 to 7 years that I had to let go. There is a commitment of 7 years that I had to let go. There is a union, a sanctuary I have built for myself for 7 years that I had to let go. This sanctuary is not just about me dwelling. I made a place I have actually made my home. Decisions that I have made just because of the relationship to work. The type of feeling, hunger, the relationship, the friendship I have let go because I wanted the marriage to work. The kind of life I could have had that I had to let go. The way I have reacted and responded to every single thing that was actually drawing my attention so I can notice my mistakes at the beginning. The multiple times that I have actually said no to things that I could have actually said yes to. And the kind of wall I have built around the relationship. And this time, it was as if the world was going to an end. It is as if there is no purpose, there is no life again. How can I be very careless that I could not make amends to my relationship, to my marriage? How could I have been so careless that I was not cautious enough to do the needful? I kept blaming myself. What if I had listened to him? What if I had at least seen from his own perspective? What if I do more? What if I had given him the opportunity to actually control my affairs? Maybe that would have pleased him. Maybe I could have done better. Maybe I could have listened to him. Maybe things could have changed. Maybe I was too eager. Maybe I was arrogant. Maybe I was selfish. Maybe I was careless. Maybe I was not being a woman enough. Maybe I was not listening enough. Maybe I was not submissive enough. Maybe I shouldn't have a goal. Maybe my career is too ambitious. Maybe what I'm pursuing is just too elaborate that I need to come down to a level. But do you know what I realized? Maybe I could have. Maybe I could do. Maybe this could have happened. Maybe this could have worked. What I realized is that none of it could have worked. None of it could have changed anything. None of it could have made me feel better. None of this would have given me that inner peace. I realized that, and I won't just say I realized, I learned that when a union is not working and you have tried as much as possible to give it your very best, and things are not just working, and they are not just working because you are not actually having a sense of living, you're not feeling a sense of purpose, you are not living, you are not existing. You know, sometimes we just tend to be in this world, just like the normal human being. We are just like have a walking dead. I feel the best thing to do is to let it go. And when you're letting it go, you should have at the back of your mind that the journey you're about to start is going to be difficult. It's going to be filled with a lot of pain. It's going to be filled with a lot of regrets. It's going to be filled with a lot of what if. But you should also know that as you're stepping out of the relationship, you are going into another thing. You are stepping into something else. You are saying no to the relationship, to a marriage that is not working. You are saying no to being sabotaged. You are saying no to being manipulated by marital bonds. You are saying no to being under the influence of a man without having a voice. You are saying no to the relationship that will ruin your future. You are saying no to circumstances that will not give you life. As you're saying no to that, you are saying yes to purpose. You are saying yes to understanding yourself. You are saying yes to self realization. You are saying yes to self actualization. You are saying yes to your eternal life. I learned that for we human beings to grow, we need pain. And not just the pain. We need pain. We need to feel hardship. We need to feel pressurized. We need to undergo the challenging times. And when we undergo these times are the things that would actually unravel our thoughts towards what should be. These are the things that would help us understand that we are made for more. I am not saying you should go away from a relationship because you have a minor understanding or little misconceptions about some things. I am saying the relationship that does not give you a sense of purpose, that you're being manipulated like I am. I am a Muslim sister, but if a man should come up with using your religious ethics and standard to manipulate you into listening to what he's saying, or not just to listen, but to manipulate you into stooping so low so that it can be a path for you, it can be a path to walk on, then I am saying it is not what it is. Then that is what I'm talking about. I am saying if you're in a relationship or a marriage that you don't have a voice, you can't tell what is right from what is wrong until you have the influence of your partner. You can't actually say a word until your partner comes in. You don't have a purpose other than the life you have in your home. And you can't even call your home a home. You call it just a house. Because there is difference between a house and a home. You can't find sanctuary in your home. You can't become the woman you actually wanted to become. You don't feel there is a reason for you to be in it. I'm talking about marriages that the husband is the sole authority of the house. It does not give you room. There is no listening ears. There is no loving mind. There is no conscious talk. There is no empathy. There is no love. There is no care. And there is no attention. You don't even know the reason why you're there. Do at first you understand you want to be with this man, and it got to a point that you can't actually conjoin the reasons why you end up with him. He does not align with your future, he's disturbing your present, and it's just as if you don't have a past before him. That is the marriage I'm talking about. One of the things I've also learned over the years is that when we are in this toxic marriage or relationship, sometimes we allow our emotions, especially our fear, to overcloud our judgments. I have mentioned this in my previous video about resilient through hardship and also rubric mindset affirmations. I'm going to be linking the videos up here and here. What I also noticed is that most times when we are going through pain, this pain sabotages our thoughts. And at the long run, out of 100% of women that have gone through hardship in marriage, most times only 20% come out of it in flying colors. They come out of it pursuing their dream, chasing big ambition and smashing their goals. The 50% of it get trapped in the dilemma. They get trapped in fear. They get trapped in what people say. They get trapped with societal influence. They get trapped in considering external factors rather than giving themselves a validation. While the remaining 30% eventually come out of the toxic relationship but don't have a purpose. They don't have a sense of belonging. And I can even divide this remaining 30% into two. That is 20% and 10%. What the remaining 10%? They might eventually live because of a reason, because of a purpose, and because of dreams they have seen for themselves. But eventually, they allow societal influence, external influences, and the pressure of the people, the outside environment, other than themselves, to dictate for them eventually. And in the long run, they realize they would not achieve anything. They end up being the worst and the worst of all. Now, which category do you think you want to fall under? I understand that there are so many situations around being married and keeping a home. But if it has gotten to a point where your partner beats you, it has gotten to a point where he body shames you, it has gotten to a point where he toys with you emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, and whatever it is you want to mention, then I can tell you it is time to leave. And you look at your future, you see that the presence you're looking at does not have a particular place in that future you're looking at, then there is no point other than letting it go. When you have fear, it is understandable that you're going to be afraid. It is understandable that you're going to feel pressurized. It is understandable that you're going to think about what people will say. But what I will not take as being understandable is you not listening to yourself. Is you not taking the step? Is you not taking the risk? You should understand that whenever you are stepping out of whatever it is that does not work for you, you are stepping into what will definitely work for you. Now the question is yours. Are you willing to stay in a relationship, in a marriage that does not work for you, that does not encourage your future ambition, that does not breathe life into you? Are you willing to stay into that? Or step into your self-realization? Step into you understanding yourself better. Step into your purpose. Step into a reason that will not just give you life, but will give others life. Haven't you noticed that when you're able to step out of your situation, when you're able to come out bigger, better, stronger, and brighter, you are giving others reason. You are creating purpose for others. And these others we're talking about might be your children in the nearest future. They might eventually be in your situation and they want to look up to somebody or something to give them hope. What if you stepping into something brighter is what will create that future for them? What if the decision you are making now is what will create pain, is what will pave way for your children? What if the decisions you are making now is what will unravel the potentials of others that follow you? Haven't you noticed that the path the successful people are walking on is because those that are successful before them are walking that path? What would have happened if people don't walk the path? When you don't take the risk, when you don't face your fear, when you don't overthrow with your own judgment, when you don't live for yourself, how many years do you think you have on this earth to live? Do you think you're going to be lasting forever? But during the time when you're still present, what is going to be your main reason? What is going to be your main purpose? If they're telling you your kids are still small for you to be a single mother, you do this as a woman, you shouldn't say no to your marriage. And you can just endure till your children get older. But the question you should be asking them is that who told them, who guaranteed them that you will be there to see your kids when they grow older if you are living in this present situation? Who told them you will live to see another day if you are in this cycle? You are being abused emotionally, you are being abused mentally, and you want to tell me you are going to have a healthy lifestyle till you grow older. You want to tell me you're going to be in a very good state to nurture your kids. Are you going to tell me when you have situations like that around you, you are going to have that luxury of time to mend your health, not to mention mend the health of your futures, not to even talk about you seeing the future of your kids. I have seen women worked in this path, women that get trapped and eventually lose their life. I have seen a lot of women out there in situations like this. Instead of them choosing themselves, they choose the marriage, and what happens to them eventually? They lose their life, they lose their self esteem, they lose their purpose, they lose their ambition, they lose themselves. In fact, they eventually lose the kids that they feel they are working for. And what happens? The kids will not even know they existed. The kids will only hear that you once had a mother that died. And surprisingly, people can even change your story for you. Those that actually caused you that pain, those that led to your pain, those that created your death. I'm not talking about creating a real sense. I'm talking about those that actually participated in seeing you enter your grave. They will change the story for these kids and they will know something entirely different about you. The least you can do for yourself in terms of healing is not sabotaging yourself. And the highest you can do for yourself in terms of healing is speaking up and taking action. You don't necessarily have to talk to everybody, but I mean speaking up to yourself, owning your decisions, standing up to your choices, and maintaining your ground, saying no and stand on it, giving yourself the real sense of purpose. You are doing this because of this. And if you're able to do this, you will achieve this. That is what I'm talking about. And when you keep sabotaging yourself, you're ripping yourself away from the choices you have made. You're ripping yourself away from the future. You are denying yourself the opportunity to be a working path for others to follow. When you let go of whatever it is that is giving you that is depriving you of growth, when you're able to let go of whatever that is causing you pain, the next thing that will happen is healing. And when I say healing, what happens during the time of healing? Let me pull your attention back to the story I was bringing up earlier about me leaving and starting again. During this time, that is the first phase of healing. That is the point where you let go of everything. You let go of everything and accept the situation. You succumb to what it is. You call a spade. You let yourself know this is not working for me. In my nearest future, what do I want to become? Does this align with that? Have I come to this world just to be somebody else's wife and some people's mother and what else? Because I'm a wife and I'm a mother does not stop me to be a career woman. Does not stop me from being ambitious. Does not stop me from having dreams. Does not stop me from being one of the most mentioned women that has impacted others. So why should I be different? The reason why I am different now is because I am not accepting and I am not calling a spade a spade. I am not letting go. I am not letting go of what does not serve me, and I am not letting in what will serve me. You realize that at this point, you will begin to understand that there are lots of things you are not taking note of, and these things will be coming to you naturally. At this point, you'll be able to realize that whatever it is you're doing, if it is serving you or not, then you'll also be able to have a lot of reasons to back up your point. Haven't you noticed that most times when you let go of things, things unravel on their own naturally? That is the universe trying to communicate with you that you have to surrender to it. You have to let it work so you yourself can be at ease. When you surrender, you let it go. You release all the burden. You act as if you're not bothered. You act as if you don't care. You act as if nothing disturbs you. And you act as if you don't even have anything to do about it. Then the healing journey continues. Then you accept. This is your situation now. You are going to be called this. You are going to be called that. People are going to mock you. They will call you names. You'll be abused. I'm not talking about physical abuse now. Abused morally with different thoughts and different points of view of people, starting with your relatives. In fact, sometimes if you have children that don't really know how things are going on between yourself and their father, they can come up with different thoughts. But you should understand that because they are children, they will eventually come to understand and they will see where you're coming from. And when they eventually see where you're coming from, they will love you unconditionally because they will also know that part of what you're doing is for them. They will know that if you're not healthy, mentally you're not fit, emotionally you're not fit, physically you're not fit, they would understand that there is no way you will be their mother to whenever they want to keep seeing you. So they will also be able to come to terms and realize that you're actually doing it for them. Not when you accept, you're not accepting to settle, you are accepting to build. Then you start taking your steps. What are the things that needs to be done? What are the care that you need to give your kids? Then you have work to put in place. How do you go from here? What is the next thing that should be on your agenda? What are the things you need to start letting go? What are the things you need to start working on? What are those things that keeps giving you pain? How do you want to let them go? Is it your environment? Is it your workplace? Is it the career you've been yearning for? Is it that dream you're trying to build? Is it feeding? Is it your skin? Financially, what are those things you need to put in place? And how do you want to make sure that you don't come back to where you're coming from? As you continue to walk through the journey, then you realize that there are some pillars that need to be worked on. You need to work on the foundation, just like you're building a house, just like you're constructing a building. You work your way from the foundation down and up to the finish. Going through the journey of healing, I have understood and I have learned through my journey that there are some notions that is connected to healing. And the first thing is that healing takes time. Whenever you're stepping out of something and you're stepping into something else, you should know it will take time. In fact, that thing you think you're working towards, that goal you think you want to pursue, whenever you step out of one, that career you are yearning for, that ambition you feel you want your whole life, is not going to be a journey of 1 year. It's not going to be a journey of 2 years. You can have as long as 3 years, as long as 4 years, as long as five, as long as 10. In fact, I have also learned that healing itself is a journey. It is a journey that you keep working on. And as you give it time and work on it, then you continue to be at ease, not just with yourself, but with your environment, with your life, and to your future. Only then can you be rest assured that honestly, this is life, this is living, this is purpose, this is the real you. And the second thing that has to do with healing that I have learned over the years is not going back. Whenever you start a journey, you will bank on that journey. You decided to take a step, you decided to take a leap, and decided to go for something. You don't turn back. That is being intentional. You should be intentional. You are saying no to relationship that does not serve you. Do not walk into another one. Whenever you notice the red flag, always try as much as possible to listen to it. Whenever you are trying to heal, you are working on the healing journey. You don't say yes to your no. If your ex-husband does not change or does not work on the things that has made you left in the first place and is returning to you, giving you excuses, trying to blackmail you emotionally, using your kids and your future, you don't go back. You say no and you mean it. That is because when you're healing and you're fluctuating in your intention, you are not going to be healing. You are going to give yourself consistent heartbreak, and that will even keep you down more than you can ever imagine. So when you're going through the journey of healing, you don't turn back and you say yes as much as it takes just for you to say no to the things that does not serve you. There is this saying I learned from my teacher when I was back in school, and he said, you have to unlearn some things to learn some things. As you are healing, you realize that wherever you find yourself is not the end to the world. Where you are is a reflection of who you are, and where you are not is a blindfold to who you are. It's going to feel as if, what are they doing? How does life look like this year? But because you're not there, you feel blindfolded. And by the time you step into that environment, you are going to learn and you're going to see things in new dimension. You realize that as you're healing, you're going to be learning a lot of things through your journey. You're going to be understanding that there's something called barriers. You're going to understand that there are some things called boundaries. When I mean boundaries, they are these rules and guidelines you want to live your life on. They are the things you want to live your life for. You're going to understand that there are norms that you should comport by, and there are things that you need to let go. As I walk through the healing journey, I have learned over the years that there is more to what you're saying than where you are. And if you don't build your life on that more, you will be having less. And the moment you begin to walk into more, you are going to pay less attention to the things that does not serve you. The jury take out on healing. The first thing is that healing takes time. The second thing is that when you're going through the journey of healing, you say yes and you mean it. You also say no and you mean it, and there is no turning back. You have to be intentional. And the last thing is that as you heal, you are going to be learning. And as you learn, you're going to be unlearning. That is how you heal. In my next series, I'm going to be sharing with you the healing steps I have learned over the years that has actually worked for me, that is still working for me, and will continue to work for me because just like I said, as I'm healing, I'm learning on a daily basis. And if you like more of this content, don't forget to join the community. And also, I have built a Telegram channel for women like you and I so that we can keep ourselves in check and pursue our dream. I've gotten to realize that most times where you are, there can be challenges and situations that will not allow you to join a community that will help you thrive. Now, this community is just the foundation. It's just the community that I've just started, but I've built it to keep women like you and I in check by sharing daily motivational tips and sharing most of my life experiences and how I was able to walk through the path that has led me to this place and will continue to take me to the future I have built for myself. And